Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. I hope everybody is ready for Champions League final tonight, City against Inter. More transfer news today. We're going to speak about Tielemans today because we've got some important news on that front. And we're also going to speak about Scamacca because we have considered yet another option for a striker. And then look, I'm going to also say a few things when it comes to Champions League. It's that big of an event that even if this is a Roma fan channel, I feel like I have to give my thoughts and prediction just because it's Champions League. I'm going to do it just because it's Champions League. First thing, however, I apologize for this, and this felt like Paulo Dybala today. No, but I went to the end of school ceremony, and there was the paint still, so I painted my face. It could only have been something related with Roma. So yeah, mind that. But yeah, let's get starting because I think the first thing we have to discuss is the Tielemans front. Tielemans is a concrete objective of Roma's summer window, but I think the first thing which has to be said about Tielemans is that it's a very complex objective in this summer window. And this is exactly why, as you can read from today's title, the only hope of us trying to sign Yuri Tielemans is in Jose's hands and in that Jose magical call. Apparently, people are saying that Jose is going to contact Tielemans in person in these following days to try and convince him, just like he did with Dybala, like we did with Tammy Abraham, like he did with Matic. It's something which has worked multiple times under Jose because of how attractive he is and how ambitious the Roma project is. So people are saying that Jose could play a big part in this. He could contact Tielemans, in fact is going to contact Tielemans and call him personally in these following days. And then we shall have and actually see an evolution on that behalf, because after this call, Tielemans could probably come up with an answer. However, I want to speak about the complexity of this, because we cannot hide that Tielemans is one of the more complicated moves about Roma's summer window, because he's a player which a lot of teams are interested in. Obviously, he's a free agent, so the competition around Tielemans is very, very high. Milan want him in the Italian league, Galatasaray want him in the Turkish league, Arsenal, Man United and Aston Villa want him in the Premier League. And he has said multiple times how his priority does remain playing in the Premier League. His priority remains playing in the English league, and we will see if that is going to play a clinching part in this. Will and could Jose convince him, even if his desire is to keep on playing in the Premier League? That's something which we don't know as things stand. That's something which we will know after this contact between Jose and Tielemans. But I think it's important to highlight that it is going to happen and that it could switch the scenarios again. Again, another thing is that our offer is not the most financially beneficial for Tielemans. We are definitely not the team which is willing to, which is in a position to give Tielemans the higher wages. Galatasaray have already told him that they are in a position to pay more than what Roma can pay. I'm pretty sure Arsenal, Man United and Villa don't have economic sanctions, and therefore they are willing to pay more wages than us. So when it comes to the financial side of this deal, we are not the favourites. When it comes to the fact that we won't be playing Champions League football next season, we are not the favourites in this. It's fair to say that in such a complex deal, the only person which can change the scenarios is Mourinho. If Mourinho convinces Tielemans, just like he convinced Dybala, I would not be surprised if Tielemans accepts our offer. Again, we've convinced Dybala and he was coming from Juventus. Surely it can't be that hard convincing Tielemans, who's coming from a relegation team. Dybala is 10 times Tielemans, so surely something positive could happen. However, we can't speak about that contact because it's still yet to come. Jose is in his vacation right now, holiday. I believe he's in London right now. And yeah, he is going to. There's going to be this interception between the two this coming week, and hopefully it could bring positive things. I think when it comes to convincing a player, when you're not the most financially biggest team which is interested in him, when you've got a lot of competition around the player, and when you also don't have Champions League to convince him, I think it's the project which Mourinho will use, just like, as I said before, he did with Dybala, he did with Tammy, he did with Matic. We've convinced big players. There is something about this Roma project which is ambitious. We have what's it called? We've played two European finals in the last 2 seasons. That is a definition of a successful project, and hopefully it could bring good fruits. But yeah, that's all when it comes to Tielemans. The next thing which I want to speak about is the potential alternatives when it comes to this deal. Because as I said before, this is a complex deal which is not 100% going to happen. So we need to be ready with the alternatives. When it comes to the alternatives, as box-to-box midfielders, we are still very on to Frattesi. It would be very wrong to cut us out the Frattesi deal, because we are on that deal pretty big. Again, we've been following this guy for the past 2 years. Out of him and Tielemans, I choose Tielemans. But it's a lie to say that we've abandoned the Frattesi path, because we haven't. It's a concrete path, and if the conditions are met, Roma's gonna try and bring him to. Fabrizio just announced Tielemans. Are you having a laugh? Fabrizio just announced Tielemans to Villa. Oh my God! What? Are you joking? Aston Villa have agreed a deal to sign Yuri Tielemans. No way. No way. Anyways, it was going to be a complex deal either way. I think the alternatives now are very, very simple. We need a box-to-box mid. We need a solid box-to-box mid. We need a solid box-to-box mid because as much as we have a lot of midfielders, and I would argue it's not our priority, especially after having bought a war, and we've seen the growth of Bove and all of these players. We've got quite a few midfielders, so I would definitely say the box-to-box mid is not our priority. The striker is definitely a bigger priority than the box-to-box mid, but I think we need one. And now that Tielemans is gone, which is pretty sarcastic because the moment I go live for a Tielemans live stream, he's gone. I think Roma's going to try their best to sign Frattesi. Again, Sassuolo are asking for 30 million. 30 million is too much. Let's not forget that we have a 30% lower thingy, like a lower percentage clause. So if Frattesi goes to a different team, we get 30% of that revenue. And if he goes to us, instead of getting the 30% of that revenue, we would just lower the price. So if Sassuolo's asking price is 30 million, the 30% clause in his contract would probably lower it to 22 million, something like that. Maybe insert a player like Volpato or what's his name, Tahirovic, because Frattesi could be a big solution. We've been on this. We've been on this Frattesi thing for a long time. It truly means that there's something about Frattesi which not just the environment likes, but Mourinho likes. And the thing with Frattesi is that he's a big Roma fan. And again, that doesn't mean much, because you could be a Roma fan and be a terrible player. But obviously, if you're a Roma fan who plays for Roma, you tend to give your own best. You tend to sacrifice your own life for the team. So yeah, I think the alternative is Frattesi. When it comes to other alternatives, I haven't really heard any of them. I think Roma was really trying to sort the Tielemans deal out, but apparently it's done. So yeah, I think Frattesi could be the next step. And moving on to the striker, because we've got yet another striker to talk about today, confirmed by Di Marzio yesterday evening, Scamacca, another ex-Sassuolo player. In fact, another ex-Roma player who I believe used to play in our academy team. Again, very similar to Fratesi. He's a die-hard Roma fan. He is, and again, he's bringing Scamacca up front. He has a similar personality to Mancini. And Mancini's not even from Rome. Scamacca's from Rome, supports Roma. Imagine if he's our main striker. I see good things on Scamacca. I wouldn't mind Scamacca because I think he's got incredible prospects. Scamacca is going to be the future striker of the Italian national team. And he's bagged a few goals with West Ham. He's had an injury recently. He's bagged goals with Sassuolo. I think he's I wouldn't say a proven striker, but I think he's a solid striker. I have to be honest with you. For all the names that we've been linked with when it comes to the striker position, and we've been linked with quite a few of them. We've been linked with Scamacca. We've been linked with Morata. We've been linked with Icardi. We've linked, maybe not linked, but rumoured with Lukaku. All of these options are valid options in my opinion. Any of these strikers would drastically improve our current striker position. The thing with Scamacca, the reason I want Scamacca is because he's a diehard Roma fan and he would sacrifice his ass for this team. My only fear on Scamacca is that he's still a bit too young to be the main striker of our team. Similar discussion to what we said yesterday with Morata. If we get Scamacca on loan, this would be yet another loan move because West Ham weren't selling him permanently. So Scamacca would be on loan. If we get Scamacca on loan, I still want Zola because you're covered from the worst case scenarios. Because buying someone like Scamacca is a futuristic signing. It means that, you're thinking about the future. Young player, incredible prospects, diehard Roma fan. He would love to join Roma. And that's the great things when it comes to Scamacca. The negatives is that he's still very young to maybe become let me quickly mute this, to become the main striker of a team like Roma. So I think there's still a lot of thoughts to go on when it comes to our striker. But yeah, I think it's a valid option, and I would not mind Scamacca. I would love Scamacca, but as I just said, I'd rather get Scamacca and another player than just Scamacca. The thing which fears me scares me when it comes to Scamacca is that his father has a bad attitude. His father's one of those weird agent family members. Just to give you, this is an anecdote. Last year, I believe 2 years ago, Scamacca's father, and again, this sounds like a comic movie, but trust me, it's a real story. 2 years ago, Scamacca's father, when Scamacca was a Sassuolo player, presented himself in Roma's training ground at Trigoria with an axe. Yes, I'm not joking. His father presented himself inside Roma's training session with an axe. What does that mean? Yes, that he's a psychopath, but also that I don't know. It's a weird story, isn't it? So yeah, there could be some attitude related dodgy problems when it comes to Scamacca, but as I said before, I think any of the strikers we've been linked with right now are valid strikers. So yeah, I think it's pretty understandable when it comes to that. Right, there's no point in reading Tielemans' comments because he's done. Fabrizio announced him to Villa, which is, again, the timing of this was mad. So I guess Fratesi is our next option. Other alternatives which I would like as a Tielemans alternative, apart from Fratesi, I'd like someone. I know this is more of like characteristic player I'd want, not necessarily the player which I'm about to say, but I would love someone like Locatelli. someone which combines the defense and the attack section really, really well. So that's my take on this on the box to box mid. But after having bought a war, I think it would be a mistake to prioritize the box to box mid position. We need a box to box midfielder, but it's not the priority. There are other priorities. We've got a lot of midfielders even after having signed a war. Matic, Cristante, Pellegrini, Bove, and that's already 5. You know, we've got a lot of them. We need more. I'm not saying we don't need more, but the priority is not a box-to-box mid. Simon, would you think Dybala would synergize with Icardi better than the other targets we're linked with? I think he'd link the best with Morata because of their bond. I think he'd link with Icardi the best second because they're both Argentinian and they know that they've got that South American mate bond. Yeah. I think when it comes to Scamacca, it would take more time because of the inexperience of Scamacca. But again, Scamacca's coming from a one conference league. So yeah, I think I wouldn't mind Scamacca. Let's get the Japanese guy, Kamada from Frankfurt. He's really good. I think he's linked with Milan though. I'd like Koulibaly from Salernitana. Personally, I think Rome could end up swapping Tammy for Scamacca in the long term, says Big Sir Holy. Strikers. We need strikers and we have to play a fully offensive attacking forward game this season. Strikers and many of them up front. Enough of this defending nonsense. I would love Scamacca in Rome. He will give it all and he has talent. We're losing the agent. Oh my god, with FFP. I'm not optimistic for this club and Mourinho. Well, you're never optimistic because you always write in cap locks. So that's the thing. Simon, what about taking Patson Daka from Leicester since they were relegated? We were looking at Patson Daka before. He didn't succeed in Leicester because, yeah, he's not a bad striker, but I think he's more of a second striker than a first. I would definitely not love to enter the season with Patson Daka as my first striker. No. You know, we can't have the main striker of our team being a striker which is coming from a team who got relegated. If you see what I mean. We need to be better than that. Scamacca and Father don't see each other. Scamacca's perfect in my opinion. If we can get a few more players around him, it would be really good. Yeah, a lot of people like Scamacca. I wouldn't mind him. Aston Villa just signed. Yeah, I know. It's sarcastic, isn't it? But yeah, we've gone through that. I want Morata plus Scamacca, both on loan with option to buy. Not bad, but I think it would be pretty unreliable. Sorry, not unreliable, unrealistic. I struggle to believe both Morata and Scamacca come. But look, never say never. I think the aim should be loan Scamacca, and if he does well, swap Tammy for him when Tammy's back. Wing backs should be a priority as well. I agree. I fully agree. Clubs are only offering 20 million for Ibanez. That's too little for Ibanez. I hate to say it, but that's too little for Ibanez. Ibanez has great prospects. 20 million is a shit deal. We need to ask more. In fact, we need to have the balls to ask for more money because 20 million is not enough for a player of Ibanez's age with Ibanez's prospect. Clubs are only... yeah, just read that. What do you think will happen with Vigna, Simon? He did well with Bournemouth. Could be a... Yeah, I think we need to sell him. I think we need to sell him because we need money. And again, we don't need him. We've already seen him at Roma. Seen him. I said seen him, not the other word. I feel like everybody thinks I said the other word. I said seen him, not seamen. Okay? Personal opinion, I think Roma should give one more opportunity to Belotti this season. He is going to have a new opportunity because he just signed a new contract. We've triggered that renewal. So Belotti is staying. In other options, Simon, what about the new Italian striker? Rather Scamacca, to be honest. Scamacca is finally a striker that uses power shots. I can't remember a striker except Totti that uses power shots. Yeah, look. Mixed news today. We started off with Tielemans and how Jose could have played a big part in this, but then it collapsed in the middle of this live stream because he signed for Aston Villa. And then we talked about Scamacca, Ndika's about to sign, and Roma's summer transfer window is taking shape, and I will keep you updated for more news and all updates and all of that. So if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, click all of the things below. Let me know in the comments your impression on Scamacca as a potential new option when it comes to the striker. And yeah, click all of the. Oh yeah, let's speak about Champions League a bit. Let's speak about Champions League a bit because it's the Champions League final. So I'll give a few thoughts and predictions on that. I think City will win, but don't rule Inter out because in scenarios where everybody goes, oh, City's easily gonna win, City's gonna batter Inter, City's gonna destroy Inter. Be careful because it's under these dynamics and circumstances which the dark horses and the non-favorite team rises and wins. I think City are the favorites, obviously. But sometimes when everybody goes, oh, City, best team, City, everybody's kind of downgrading Inter. City are better, but Inter are a difficult team to beat. I think City's going to win. I think Haaland's going to score. I think it's going to be either 2-0 City or 3-1 City. Or I think it's going to be a draw and somebody wins on penalties. That's my prediction on it. I think De Bruyne is going to have a masterclass tonight. But yeah, don't rule out Inter because it's those moments where everybody's scrapping Inter away that Inter actually, make themselves big. But my prediction is 3-1 City. 3-1 City, I think. I think Inter will win it. It will be on penalties. Inter for the win for Italy. I've said this yesterday. I don't want Inter to win. And I feel so delusional when I say this. But I don't want Inter to win the Champions League. As a Roman, I cannot. I don't want to see those Milan fans, just people from Milan celebrate. I'm sorry, but I don't. I just can't. So Had it been AC Milan, I would have rethought about this. But Inter, there's something which I deeply hate about Inter. So, yeah, I hate to say it because I hate Man City too. But I'm going to... I'm not going to support anyone in this. I'm going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the game. And however it goes, I couldn't care less. That's the way I see it. But yeah, let me know in the comments your predictions. As I said before, click all of this in below. Road to 10k, and I'll catch you there very soon. Simon, out.